A few years ago, when I was around 29 years old, I left my country for the very first time. My husband at the time was originally from Germany, but he lived in the United States. We met when he was on vacation in Indonesia. After we got married, he stayed with me in Indonesia for about a year. After that year, he returned to the United States and applied for a marriage-based visa for me. About 3 months later, my visa was approved. That approval changed everything. He bought me a plane ticket on Malaysia Airlines, hoping the journey would be easier for me. Malaysian and Indonesian languages are similar, and he thought that might help since this would be my very first time traveling alone. I had never flown before, not domestically, not internationally. This was my first time on a plane, my first time leaving my country, and my first time stepping into the unknown. My route included an overnight layover in Malaysia. When I arrived at Kuala Lumpur International Airport, someone was already waiting for me, holding a sign with my name on it. He explained that he would take me to my hotel and return me to the airport the next day. The hotel was located in Negeri Sembilan. I arrived in the afternoon, around 4 o'clock. I put my bags in the room and went down to the lobby. I was nervous, excited, and still trying to process the fact that I was finally on my way to start a new life. My ticket included a food voucher, so I went to the front desk to ask about dinner. That's when I learned the voucher was only valid for breakfast. I didn't complain. I didn't question it. Everything still felt like an adventure. As I walked around the lobby, taking in my surroundings, I began to feel like someone was watching me. Then a woman approached me. She looked Asian, well-dressed and friendly. She smiled and asked where I was traveling to. Without hesitation, I told her I was going to America. She asked why, and I said that I was joining my husband. She asked a lot of questions. At the time, I didn't think much of it. I was alone, inexperienced, and far from home. It felt comforting to have someone talk to me. She told me she lived in the United States as well. She said she owned a painting business and traveled back and forth between the US and her home country. Then she asked me something that caught my attention. She asked if I wanted to have a business of my own. She said that when I arrived in the United States, I could start right away, that I wouldn't have to depend on my husband, that I could be independent, successful. I had never lived in the US before, and I was honestly afraid of being a burden. So when she talked about opportunity and independence, I asked her what kind of business it was. She smiled and told me it was a painting business. Then she said she could show me the paintings. I asked her where they were. She looked at me and said, "They're in my room," and that's when something inside me hesitated.